Sir, I have one final question. Sir, I
Oh,
have one
yeah.
final question.
Yeah.
Actually, since you are associated with Google, and Google is planning to change how the computing world functions currently through cloud computing, what are the plans of Google, and what do you personally feel how it is going to change how things work
Sure.
currently? Thank
So,
you.
I think one thing that's important, for all you people who don't want to start companies who are going to end up taking jobs, when you do uh, take up your first job, I want you to go and understand the mission statement of your company. So Google's mission statement is to organize the world's information. It's a very broad mission statement, and it's something that I believe in. And make sure you believe in the mission statement of the company that you're going to join. I feel like a lot of people don't, know the mission statements of their companies. They don't know what the company's actually ultimate goal is or what they're trying to accomplish. So if you take Google's mission statement to organize the world's information, and then you think about how cloud computing fits in, it's a natural fit, right? Cloud computing is a way to organize all your information. So you have files on a PC, you have files, on a different PC, and you want to access them, you want to organize them. Cloud computing provides a universal platform that allows anyone to access any information, to share information, and it just makes the world of organizing and sharing information much easier. So I definitely believe in the mission statement of the company. I believe in what cloud computing is trying to accomplish. And I think we have a way to go. I think it's happening naturally. If you think about how people use email, how many people in this room email documents to themselves or email notes to themselves? I mean, I know I do all the time. Isn't that cloud computing? Aren't we basically emailing ourselves a file so I can access that file from any computer in the world? That's cloud computing. So if you think about, we've naturally been doing cloud computing for a long time, right? But the cloud computing has sort of become a buzzword, a new sort of buzzword. But email is cloud computing. That's what it really is, and the internet's really the whole principle of the internet is based on that.
Good morning, sir. I really want to appreciate, like, you went to be an entrepreneur, even having such a huge opportunity cost. My first question to you is, like, whenever we speak about entrepreneurship in India, it's mostly about online business. What about fields like biotechnology and pharmaceutical? Because I wish to start up something related in this field. But I find the entry to barrier in these areas are very huge because of the lack of government support, lack of awareness, and lack of patency rules. So what is your advice?
Yeah. So I think it's a great question. The online opportunity in India is actually very small. I believe that bigger opportunities for India, if you look around, right, like I came here, we need to fix the roads, we need to fix this. These are the opportunities, these are the problems, right? The basic infrastructure of India, that's an opportunity, right? I woke up this morning, I think I didn't have running water for some reason. I had no idea why. But I was like, why can't I just pay someone and someone can just deliver water to my house when I need it? Like, I asked my neighbor, they said there's no such service, if you don't have water, you don't have water. I was like, great, it's too bad. So I think that we need to look around and say that I think there's actually much bigger opportunities and services that we can, that people are willing to pay for rather than online. And India has much bigger these opportunities. Now, your question is, okay, so I can identify these opportunities in biotechnology. Well, biotechnology is a big word. I don't know what specific opportunity there is. But let's just say, for discussion's sake, you saw an opportunity in biotechnology and you want to solve some problem in biotechnology. You need a massive amount of capital. Same with pharmaceuticals. So it's very difficult for entrepreneurs to start a drug company. So you say, you know what, I want to solve, I don't know, typhoid or something, right? Or some disease, AIDS, I want to solve AIDS. Now, that's you're right, a great idea. You're solving a big problem. But you need, like, how does a single entrepreneur go about solving such a big problem? You need a massive amount of capital. You need to set up an R&D lab. You need to do drug discovery. So there are a lot of barriers to entry. So one is, I think you want to pick problems that you can solve, that don't need massive amount of capital. So you're not going to see many entrepreneurs coming up with a new drug. It's always big pharmaceutical companies because they can afford it. And I think the reason the sort of online businesses are, I wouldn't say they're They're the best opportunity, but the barriers to entry of starting an online business are very low. I mean, they're just much lower. But also, it makes it more competitive, right? There's like 100 people trying to solve the same problem, and it's just actually much more competitive. So you have to think of a problem that no one else is looking at, or few people are looking at. No matter what business idea you have, I'll tell you, someone else has thought of it. Like I thought when we started this company, I was like, oh, I must be the only person who thought of this idea. I found 3 other companies that were working on the same idea. So first of all, you'll never find an idea that no one else is working on. So that's one. Second, make sure that the idea you're working on is sort of surmountable and you can do it. Third is, so if you want to start something in biotechnology, you may not have experience, but recruit or create a team of people that do have experience. So find maybe retired people who were in the biotechnology field who can help you, who have the connections. So go out and network and find them. Third, sometimes it's not a bad idea. If you want to start a company in biotech, go work in the biotech industry for 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But always keep in mind what you want to start, but gain as much knowledge in the industry as you can so you have credibility. So if you come out, like now, I worked at Google. For some reason, people think I'm really smart now, right? I mean, I'm the same guy as who was starting the sponge company before, not a different person. But Google sort of gives me that credibility. So if I wanted to start a company 5 years from now, after working 5 years on Google, people assume I understand the industry, I have a natural network because of who I associate with in online, and people sort of assume that I know what I'm doing, right? So if you're starting a company right out of college in biotechnology, the questions will be, you have no experience, what do you know about biotechnology, you don't know anyone in the industry. So I would say sometimes it's good to also, you want to work in the industry and gain as much knowledge as possible. Does that sort of answer your question? Oh, sorry.
I just want to ask one thing. Is entrepreneurship all about doing something new, innovative? Is it like identifying unsolved problems? Or is it doing something traditional in an efficient manner or something?
Yeah, so if you're solving, I mean, it's a great question. You don't always have to solve a new problem or have a new, have a sort of a new way of doing things. But what I would say is that there's always an existing solution to the problem, right? It's just not the best solution. So, like when we were, for my company, when we were saying that we're going to help solve this problem of leaving surgical sponges behind, there was an existing solution. The solution was they would count the sponges before the surgery, and then they would count the sponges after the surgery, and they would say, okay, we started with 50 sponges, we ended with 50 sponges, therefore we have no sponges left inside the body, right? So this was the manual process, right? So there was already a process that existed. We basically created a newer, an efficient process. So it's sometimes about not finding a new problem, but creating an efficiency. It's creating a faster or better way to do it, or a cheaper way to do it. So, that's my other answer. You can always create a faster, better, or cheaper way of solving the same thing. So if you look at, let's look at some of the innovations. I look at what, sort of what Tata does. It's really amazing, like the nano, right? I mean, what was the invention with the nano? I mean, they invented a car, but cars have been around before, right? It's not like they were the first car to be invented. But they invented a car that was affordable now by a greater majority of people, which didn't exist before, right? So they created a new market segment that didn't exist. And if you look at the invention I'm even more excited about, I don't know how many of you heard of the water purifier, right? I mean, that's actually even a bigger invention than the car. That affects so many people. That what was the traditional way of purifying water? Right? Boiling and this. So they've created it's not like there wasn't a solution before. They created a cheaper and more efficient, maybe not cheaper, but a more efficient solution. So, but that's a great point.